Record. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the Parental CEO interview for the Ultimate Life. The Parental CEO was created to inspire parents in business, life, parenting, and travel. And we always want to add value to our community by sharing success stories and advice on how other people live their ultimate life. So, please introduce yourselves and tell us who you are, where you're from, how old your kids are, and where you are in the world right now.
Are you going to go?
Yeah, well, I'm Sam and Rebecca, and we're known as the Compass Drifters on YouTube and Instagram. But we're just an everyday normal family from Stockport, Manchester, United Kingdom. We have Isabella and Ewan with us, and they are 10 and 12. And we've been rolling now for 7 months altogether.
I think it's nearly 8 months.
8 months.
Yeah. So we're currently in Turkey.
Middle of Turkey, Konya.
Konya.
Wow. That's amazing.
I think we're 10,300 miles from home.
Yeah, a long way.
So how are you traveling right now? What are you traveling in?
We're in a motorhome, aren't we?
Yeah, we're in an Adria Matrix 670 motorhome.
Yeah, it's just a 5-berth motorhome. It's quite new, which we bought when we sold the house, because we sold the house, sold everything in October last year.
Amazing. And how did you feel when you actually decided to make that massive bold move to just sell everything?
Terrified.
Yeah, it was scary. I kept waking up in the night thinking, we're doing the right thing. We're going to walk away from life as we knew it, and my job and my business and
things we'd built over the years. So we'd spent a long time building up businesses,
client base,
and it was quite scary. And several times I woke up in a panic in the night thinking, what are we doing? Giving up everything for some crazy dream of traveling with the children, seeing the world, and just so we panicked a lot, didn't we? The amount of times I said to Sam, oh God, let's just take the house off let's cancel the sale. Yeah, but we didn't.
We didn't.
So, we kept going.
What inspired the change then?
Many things, I think.
Yeah, I think when the pandemic hit, and my business shut, and Becky couldn't go to work because of it, and a lot of people's dynamics changed in the world, and people had a chance to look at their careers and were they happy in life with doing what they were doing. And Becky started watching other families doing this, and she was saying to me, do you think we could do this? And I was so busy and tied up with work, I was like, oh, I don't know. I thought she was just dreaming, but she wasn't.
I think what it made us realize is that we could live for less. We were living obviously way above our means, I'd say, really, like a lot of people do. You end up it felt like no matter what we earned, it was never enough, and we weren't happy. We were just kind of living and existing. It wasn't kind of, I would never have on my deathbed. All I could think was, if on my deathbed, would I be happy with where I am in life right now? And I wouldn't have been. So that was, I think, a turning point really, was having that time together, which you wouldn't normally get. But COVID in the lockdown gave us that time to sit and really talk about what we wanted. And also at that point, Ewan, we'd had a lot of problems with Ewan at school, not enjoying school, absolutely hating it for many years, in fact. And the time away and having to home educate while everyone was in lockdown, it was forced on you. It kind of made us realize that actually maybe we could do a different way of educating the children. So I think those things kind of came to a head in the COVID, didn't they?
Yeah.
So for those, obviously we've been speaking a little while now, and we've not actually met in person. So the people we normally interview, we have met, but it's really good for us to show the world that it doesn't matter who you are or where you are in the world. You can always make friends. You can pick up like-minded people left, right, and center, people doing the same sort of thing. And your background is very similar to us. So tell us, what was life like before for you guys?
Work.
Yeah, work. I've probably seen the kids less than 10 hours a week now that I've had time to think about it. And I was very work focused, and I was always thinking about, and then the next project, and then the next project, and
it was intense.
It wasn't just a turn up like clocking machine job because it's your own business. You're constantly thinking about everything. So I never shut off. So, but it was okay. I wasn't like unhappy or depressed or anything. I enjoyed my life. I had a good circle of friends. I was into motorbiking and things, and Becky did her thing, and we had a good network of friends. It wasn't like desperately unhappy, but it was just all work.
I think we were always using breakfast clubs, after school clubs. I was a dental hygienist. Sam had his joinery business, and I would do the breakfast club in the morning, drop off, and then Sam would pick up because I'd often work late. So we kind of just had that routine, but it wasn't
very fast paced.
It just felt like we never ate as a family. We never, everything we did was confined to a weekend. It was like pushing everything into that small couple of days of time, and holidays. Were the only thing I think we actually looked forward to was a holiday. But being self-employed, both of us, trying to get time off to go on a holiday, one was tricky, and two was the loss of income when you were doing that. We'd end up having to play catch up after that for weeks after to cover the cost of a holiday, and everyone needs you need to step away when you're living a life like that.
Yeah,
it's exhausting.
So that's all we knew. Yeah, that was all we knew. We didn't know there was I knew I wanted another way to live, but we
weren't sure what or how, but we just knew that this felt like surely this is not it. That was what we were thinking.
It's crazy, isn't it, spending all that money as well on the extra clubs. I don't know what you guys know about us, but I think it was like £2,990 per month to put the kids into childcare so that we could work. It was insane.
When they were little,
yeah.
The childcare bill when they were in nursery was horrendous.
£2,000.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah. So they're the same struggles as most people, right, who are watching this right now will be having. We've got Jackson here. Jamie's in the van cooking with the kids. And you still have those struggles in life trying to balance everything, but everything seems a little bit easier. So, how did you feel when you stepped outside your comfort zone and just got in the van and drove?
Amazing.
I actually imagined it in my mind a lot. I daydreamed about it when I was working. I thought, one day, I don't know how, but I'm going to be turning the key on this motorhome and leaving this city. And I didn't know how I was going to do it, how I was going to afford it. I just thought it'll happen. And then when the day did happen, and it was a super duper motorhome, one that we never dreamed that we'd ever get. And we started heading south, to the Channel Tunnel.
It had taken a long time to get to that, hadn't it? So it had been such a build-up.
So much admin to do with.
Yeah, it was a lot more work that we'd thought, and to try and get out, to leave your life. It isn't quite as simple and straightforward as you initially think.
No.
I mean, we had to make the decision that we were going to do this. Then we had to put the house on the market. Then obviously that process took 3 months. Yeah, nightmare with the solicitors. And then just the admin of just getting into a van and sort of telling everybody, no, we're no longer in a van, in a house, trying to sort out the electric, the council tax, and trying to clear all those things off. And just took a long time, didn't it? And getting the tax affairs in order, it was so, because it taken such a long time, we were so ready, when it came to that point where we were like, right, we can go. It was just the best feeling ever, wasn't it?
We did like a mini tour of Ireland and then of Scotland
while we were waiting for all these things
to get dialed in with the van to see what worked, what didn't work, what we needed, what we didn't need, and we learned loads. And if we would have hit the continent before we did that, we would have been deep going.
Yeah, we're glad we took a little bit of time to kind of work out what because we binned off things that was that was
that's the kit you think you need.
Yeah, downsizing. That was easy. That wasn't easy downsizing, was it?
No.
I don't know about you guys, but I think Jamie and I describe sorry, there's mosquitoes here. We're actually in Kalamata in Greece at the minute. But we describe that feeling as, when you just sold everything, got rid of all the stress, got rid of all the junk that you've collected over the last how many years. We felt like we'd leveled up, and we was literally stepping into the next level of life. And when we started driving, we started to panic, thinking, is this the right thing? Have we done the right thing? What are we doing? But then when you know, when you wake up the next day and you're like, the birds are singing, you look out the next slide, the door open and look outside, it's like, whoa, this is epic. Did you have anything that went wrong?
Just little things in the van, minor things like we had a couple of leaks. But they were sounds of joined. So yeah, we had nothing major went wrong, I don't think, did it?
No.
We've not had any major catastrophes.
No, not with the van. I think things that would go wrong really is inside your own head, you know, and what it is you've just done. And it can take a little bit of time to sink in. It's like it's all great when you first do it and you're loving it, but then the realities kick in that it's a big transition changing from your life as you knew it, and just suddenly all of a sudden you're in a van. It's so there was the challenging times, but you know, we got.
When did you find that transition, you know, that period of your mindset when you like transition? Did it hit you in one go, or does it like step up? Because I'm a life coach actually, and I help people with stepping through this, but actually it hit me, and it only hit me recently, and we've been on the road since, well, we sold up in July last year, and it hit me. And I was speaking to a friend that is a coach as well, and she's like, Lauren, you've just done a massive transition, you know, you teach people how to move through this. So recently we just said, if we get to 100 subscribers, we're going to do a bungee jump, reset the clock, and we did. But when in your session did it hit in one go? Was it just ramped up? Or
I think it's ramped up over a period of time, because it's been enjoyable, it's been good, but then suddenly I just got this feeling of being directionless and that nothing to get my teeth into. And then I was waking up on amazing beaches and thinking, what am I going to do today? What am I going to do? And I was keeping all these thoughts to myself and everything, and it built up over time, but got quite a good network of friends and things like that. So I rang him, you know, which I should do. Instead of trying to fix everything myself, I rang my mate, and God, we just had such a good chat, and like I even got a bit upset. You know what I mean? I'm no less of a man for saying that. I just was crying, and I said, I don't know what's wrong. I've cleared all my debts. I've cleared everything in my life, and then I feel like the walls are closing in a bit. And he went, mate, it's totally okay to feel like you do. And we just talked basically for half an hour. Told him how I felt, and it's just everything's moved forward from that. To be a lot more open with your feelings, and then we've met other families and other people, and they've gone through similar. And then before you know it, I think everybody goes through it, whatever the transition is in your life. You know, it's a big one to change your whole dynamics of life as you knew it.
I think you feel a bit confused because you go from having a very obvious purpose every day with your job, your career, you know, there's always a task to be done at a certain time, and suddenly that's all gone, and it can feel really overwhelming to initially have that sense of, well, freedom. What do we do today then? We're on this amazing beach, there's no reason for us to move, but you have to almost, it's so hard, it sounds really ungrateful almost. But I think one thing that's benefited us actually for myself personally was that I felt I had my moments of, oh, this is amazing, God, I'm you know, getting upset thinking, thank God we've done it, we've got here. But actually hooking up, we're now traveling in convoy with another family, and it was them, and how she keeps saying, oh God, you know, how amazing is it that we're doing this, you know, this is amazing. And actually someone else saying that to me is what's helped me see it again, because I think you can get so lost sometimes when you're on your own with you've got a rough idea of which way you're traveling, but without other people you can often feel quite almost lonely, really.
Social creatures out as humans. We need people, we need each other. And luckily we talk to each other as well, you know, in the morning, and we say how we feel. And
but yeah, I think it's just it was just a big adjustment. It's such a huge adjustment, because we went literally from work and everything going on to nothing, you know, there was no gradual process. And because we don't do anything on the road, we haven't got jobs on the road, the days are very, very empty. So it's a real shock to the system, but not in a bad way. We don't want to sound like we're moaning, because God, we're not. But I think it's just taking time to adjust to it is probably about now. We're probably now about where we
I feel a lot happier now it's all out. All the cards on the table. I feel with it and
100%.
people and
yeah. And just to take this second as well, just to congratulate you both for taking this massive step with the kids, but also for, you know, being so honest and expressing your feeling, because this is what it's about. And unless we're honest with ourselves and other people, we're not who we are. And, you know, living by your own values, whatever they be, that's what gives you like clarity and happiness in life. And it's great that, you know, you can go on these adventures, and some people will go mindlessly to different places, and we're all looking for this new opportunity, we're all looking for this new experience. But ultimately, when you're sticking to your values and your core beliefs, and you're going, you know, this is what we believe in and this is why we're doing it, life gets a lot better. And being able to say it to somebody else, be it your friend, a coach, or, you know, a randomer on the road, it makes it worthwhile. So one thing that we practice daily, and this is not just because of the coaching, this is because, you know, we do this as a family. We don't say prayers as such at night. A lot of people do, but we will say our gratitude. So we'll do 3 things we're grateful for, and each one of us, including the kids, will do that. And then we'll say 3 things we look forward to. So it's a bit of like before bed prayer. If you were religious, we will say 3 things we're grateful for, 3 things we're looking forward to. And that kind of just finishes the day on a positive and sets us up for the next day. And we're like you guys as well. We're like, oh, where are we going today? What are we doing today? And some days we'll plan, we'll go here, we'll go there, and then it doesn't go to plan, or we like it and we spend longer, or we plan to spend longer. Recently went to Sparta in Greece, and we really, really wanted to go, but we were a little bit disappointed. So, you know, the 3 days we planned to stay there turned into one night and off we went. But I think that's the great part of having that flexibility. And I know what you mean by getting lonely and not sure in knowing what to do. But do you have like a favorite place you've been to so far?
Oh God, there's so many.
We get asked that a lot, don't we?
It's really hard. I don't know about you, but when you travel, you see so many beautiful places that it's very hard to pin one place down. I think
South Spain, Vic
you like, so that's a beach park up in Spain.
I did like Albania, and I thought that was just such a, it's like stepping back in time. It's just so different. I've never been in a culture like that.
Yeah, I think
that's why we're going back to the north. I want to experience more, because it's like the Industrial Revolution didn't hit Albania, so they're totally different.
It was great. It was go like stepping back in time, but I think
friendly.
Different places are great for different reasons. So if I was to pick somewhere based on the scenery or the beauty of the place, then I still think Scotland's up there with one of my favorite places. If I was going to talk about how easy it is for van life and how great it's been for van life, then definitely think Turkey up to now,
Spain,
and Spain to a degree, and Albania. But and
stop anywhere.
Yeah,
anywhere.
It's just been amazing. And there's so many beautiful places. Yeah, that's the great thing about Turkey. I think we really at the minute are saying Turkey has been the highlight so far for us. Just for the freedom you get here, easy to park up, the cheapness of the fuel.
70p a litre.
The fuel is great. It's great. When we got into Greece after being into Turkey, we're like, oh no, let's go back.
Yeah, I can well imagine.
I'm sort of dreading in a way going back to the societies in the Western world, because I don't know.
Back into Europe, it's going to be a shock, isn't it?
Oh, what do you think of the Turkish toilets, though? Have you been
we are. Yeah. The kids will not go in the Turkish toilet. So Isabella took one look today and went, well, absolutely not.
If it's clean, I don't mind.
Yeah, we don't mind. But it's an adjustment, isn't it? You have to make these adjustments.
It's so funny. You know, I had to Google it, how to use the Turkish toilet. I was like, what do we do? So that was quite amusing for us. But again, in each country, you learn something new, don't you? So, you know, you're doing this with 2 kids in tow. So how are you parenting? How are you finding the parenting? Are you doing any schooling? What kind of setup do you have?
How are we finding it first? Well, it's had its highs and lows. Let's say that. I think now we're in convoy with 2 other UK families. Well, we're with 2 other UK families. It's easier. because the kids are absolutely loving it. We hardly see them at the moment. They're out playing all the time.
It's the conversations you have at night as well. I mean, I didn't always get that from the house, you know, if I come in, the kids would be asleep, but now I can read them a book, or sit on the edge of the bed and answer their questions. And there are lots of questions. I can be sat there for a good half hour to an hour sometimes, just talking. And they were like, oh, well, what about this? And it can go whichever direction they want. And that's great. It's having that sort of time with your kids that, you know, I never got when I was in the house.
And they love that as well. They love it.
Yeah, they love it. Yeah, just asking me questions and going for little walks in the morning and stuff like that.
And eating together, you know, back when we were living in the house, when you've got busy lives and things going on in the evenings, we rarely ate as a family. And obviously now every meal we eat together pretty much, don't we?
I think knowing they're supportive and but telling them that as well. You know, some people say, yeah, I love my kids and I support my kids, but I don't know if everybody tells the kids that. I tell mine and they're like, you're all shy, but
I think it's made us closer.
I never got that really up my old man, but
yeah, I think we've become closer as a family.
Stronger.
The kids love having us around, which they didn't have so much before. But there are times, obviously, in a small space with children who are preteens, that the kids didn't enjoy having to share a bedroom. I mean, at the end of the day, they're 10 and 12. They've gone from having their own bedrooms to having to be, they're in their own beds, but they're kind of next to each other. So that's taken a lot of adjustment. And for us as well, because we're all in the same space. We've got a door between us, but it's been, it's great because you've learned to we've all had to learn to compromise a bit and a bit of conflict management and things.
It's easier with the weather because we can all be.
Yeah, so we always try to be somewhere warmer, sunnier, because if you've got the outside space as well, it makes a huge difference. I mean, with regards to like home educating and stuff, so at first we were so on, you know, like, all right, okay, let's get the workbooks out, you know, sat there. But what happened with that was it became another conflict, something else that was, you know, when we were just adjusting to being in this van, we were adding another dynamic in, which was
because they didn't want to do it.
They didn't want to do it, and it caused so many arguments that in the end I took advice from other home educating families, and they basically said you need to do a bit of sort of deschooling, if you like, and getting out of that mentality of how it should be. And so what we've done, we kind of stepped back and left it into their hands of how they want to do it. And
now they want to do it. They'll pick up their books and they'll say, can you help me with this? It's not like they don't ever want to touch schooling again. They actually want to.
But it's what they want to do, and when they
want to do it. So, and it's great that
That's amazing. Do you find that there's a time in the day where they seem to want to do it more than another time?
Not the morning. I mean, the mornings are never great. So afternoon,
evening times,
early evening.
It's
when we go places as well, we learn a lot when we go to places. Especially everything outdoors. It's like when we go to a beach, it's not just for going to the beach. There's like so much wildlife that lives there and stuff that lives there, and we talk a lot about that and all the different creatures and where they live and where they come from, and it goes quite deep. But we're not like in a classroom. We're just talking to them, and they're asking the questions, and we're facilitating by finding out the answers as well. And
the one thing I'd say about is with regards to education is, I mean, I recently put a post on a Facebook group on van life about what we were doing and how, just to inspire other families maybe to say, look, you know, it can be done. And on the whole, 90% of the comments have been absolutely amazing, so supportive. But the biggest ones who have been not so nice, it's been about the fact that we are ruining the children's futures, we're ruining their education, you know, we're selfish, we're just basically spending their inheritance. Someone actually called us clowns. And child abuse, apparently.
Honestly, there's always the naysayers.
Yeah, and I think you always feel a little bit it always feels like there's a pressure, and I feel that more, I think, about the schooling side than anything else with regards to the kids, because it's still new to us, isn't it, about this.
Anyone that's not into home education only know one way to educate kids, which is the curriculum,
school.
Yeah. And it's
and that's it. They don't see the other ways.
Yeah. It's crazy because there's so many people out there that are doing so many different styles, and we found what worked for us. I mean, we've got Tobias is 7 and he wasn't getting on great with school. But when we started, I was like, right, 9 o'clock, let's go, focus time. I'll book in my coaching calls, you do your homework, trying to military operation it. But actually what we found worked for us is get up, get out in the morning, go do something, lunchtime, grab some food, the little ones will go to sleep, Toby will do a bit on his, we use reading eggs, so he'd do a bit on his reading eggs, and then in the evening he'd come to me with his books and say, right, Mum, can you help me with this maths? And I'll be like, wow, you've already worked it out. So again, we're similar to you. We're finding that come, afternoon, evening seems to be the better time to educate. But all the schools all over the world do 9 till 3. So it's like, it's very strange to move through that. And, I applaud you guys for doing it and for looking into different ways of doing it. But you got to find what's right for you and your kids, because no person's the same. And, with the way AI's come in these days and, advancing in every area, life's not going to be the same for our kids when they're our age. And it kind of makes us, like, my husband's very into AI and he's a chartered accountant and business advisor, so he wants them to learn different things to what they would learn at school anyway. I just try and keep them, doing what they want to do, keep them resilient, keep them strong-minded, get them to go after what they want, and then wonder why they don't listen to me. But it's one of those things that, everybody has those problems. And I don't know if you've checked out our YouTube channel, but we've got the Ultimate Life interviews, which is a category you guys will be going into, but we've also got the CEO interviews, the parental CEO interviews, and we started these before we left, when we had our businesses set up. And that's more around, what people are doing, how they're running a business as a parent and being a present parent. And there's somebody on there, you can check it out, we've got a few now, but that do unschooling, and it's called Unschooling. And it's such a it blew my mind when I watch it over and over again, and I look at unschooling, world schooling, homeschooling, all sorts of different things, but you kind of pick it up as you go. And we went to a castle yesterday, it was beautiful, and we spent all day there yesterday, and then we went back today, and the kids have learned so much. But I took photos of the reading because we can't read with a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old running around the cliff edge. So we took photos of everything. So Toby's asked, he's 7, he's asked, Mum, can we read that later? So then I'll get him to do the reading, and then I'll ask the little ones to maybe say, oh, what did you see? But everybody's so different, and you guys are doing so amazing. So if there's one thing you could change right now, what would it be?
It's good that we have to think about that, isn't it? I don't know.
I don't think I'd change anything.
Yes. Come on.
I had to actually look right across the semicircle of my mind then.
It's funny that, because no one's asked us that, and now I've just thought, actually nothing. I think we're just living our best life.
Okay, so final question then, are you living your ultimate life?
Yeah.
Amazing. Amazing,
guys.
Yeah,
that's what we've always dreamed of, and we've done it.
Honestly, I'm so pleased for you. Like, would you go back? Would you go?
No, my God, no. We're not going back.
You know what? We're not 100% sure what the future is neither. So, but that's quite exciting.
Yeah, it feels exciting. Yeah.
We've got a rough plan, but yeah.
First time in our lives. Yeah. I think the first time in our lives we actually feel excited about the future, and that's great, isn't it?
That's amazing. It's so amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time. So much for your inspiration. Okay. Hopefully this inspires everybody else. What I'll do is I'll put in the links. I'll put a link to your YouTube channel and your Instagram or whatever you've got that you want to go in there. And then hopefully people can come and check you out, see how you're getting on. You're going in the opposite direction to us at the minute, but I really, really hope and I believe that we will bump into each other some part in this world journey. It'll be great. It's great that you found some other English guys to go along with as well. We've struggled. We found lots of different languages. The kids have got on with loads of different languages really well. International language of play, I guess. Navigating via IKEA to go in the soft plays and get the quick coffee and Wi-Fi here and there. But
yeah,
no, I'm so pleased for you, and you know, you're so inspiring. So keep going, keep living your ultimate life.
Oh, thank you, and you.
Great.
Thank you, guys.